once again, I was told, Max, remember, your task is not to set expectations too high. Well, I'll do my best to make sure that your expectations are not too high. Well, I will ask people to switch on the music so that people can hear you. Yes, the numbers that you heard from Yelena, the numbers from Russia. This is the Russian business of the company, and they're already part of positive targets. What about international operations? What's the most important thing that happened in our international operations recently? Now, the company has turned to international markets. It's about business, it's about competition, it's about competition with international leaders, it's about our business. And today the international operations team feels a lot of support from all of the company. 6 months ago, nothing like this happened. It was something elective, really. It was not an important part of our business. The Russian customers are the important business. Well, now it's the first year when we made financial plans and we made financial commitments, and we gave out plans to the salespeople in the international team. It never happened before. There will be several insights right now because it's our own journey. Probably no one will be able to replicate it ever. So these secrets we're not going to hide from you. These are our target markets: North America, Europe, and Scandinavia. This is how things stood until recently. We had an office in Boston, we had an office in London, we had the best team of salespeople in Rome, but it all started feeling sick back in 2014. It became very hard, even if we won the tenders, like Italian Railways. We won the tender. But it's a NATO country. Positive was on the lists. Which list we didn't know. To find out which list they were, we needed to engage our attaché. The attaché couldn't help. Anyway, I'm telling you my personal story. You know how I made my first steps in the international arena. I was responsible for the Russian business until the end of 2022. From 2023, we handed it over to Yelena, and I'm very happy that we did that. Yelena was the best choice. She is hyper responsible. So I'm also an investor of Positive, and I know Yelena will do everything in her power to deliver the best results. Boris came to me in 23, and he was in charge of international affairs back then. He said, we are restructuring now, things are not working, we have customers in our old locations. And I told my salespeople not to respond to these letters, to these emails. As Positive, we do not look user-friendly. Can you get someone who will be replying to all these emails? So I found people. We replied to emails. We made money, and it was all rather in a passive mode. We existed in a passive mode in international operations. Around 2022, in the middle of the year, we realized that we needed these international challenges, that we want to go abroad, that we want to compete fairly, and we again went back to CastDev. This is our current status. What's highlighted in pink here, the pink color means there we'll be making first tentative steps. Red means that we're already there, we've tested the hypothesis, we know they are willing to work with us, we've got deals, they are isolated deals. We had deals in 23 and also in 24. We tested logistics of licenses, and we know how to organize payment logistics to here to Russia. Probably this is not very relevant. Why? Because we have big ambitions for the international business. Most of the money will have to stay outside of the country for at least 2 years, because we want, since this is a strategic choice for the company, we wanted to have proper investment support. Starting from 22, we stopped being passive. not waiting for requests to come in. We began to be active, and 2023 taught us several lessons.
Локации, которые вы видели, они
Well, one is you saw how different these locations are, different levels of maturity. In the Gulf, United Arab Emirates, or Saudi Arabia, there everyone is present, everyone is there. You can easily structure your business there. We will meet all of our competitors from all around planet Earth. Anyone who is anyone in cybersecurity is there. If you take Brazil, Brazil suffers from ransomware. They don't even have antiviruses on all machines. And if you talk to them about CEM, they look at you as if you were God. So they are two different worlds, two different planets. Products and services are not, they do not matter. What does it mean? You can't enter international markets just with products, because it's the same as trading beads. Like when conquistadors came and they are selling you beads, but they are not teaching you how to fish. Competing on products is difficult. Why? Because we are playing on the chessboard. The Gartner quadrants, comparisons, and we are outside of these quadrants. And now we need our meanings, the meanings that Positive delivers. Efficient, effective cybersecurity is something where we can compete. It's something fresh, something new, but we are not in Russia anymore.
в Российской Федерации, если кратко,
Positive technology in Russia is different because of two things. We heavily invest into the industry's development. We create the industry of cybersecurity. We work with the community of the customers, with the regulators, with the hackers. People know us, people appreciate us, and they respect us. It's not the same outside of Russia. You have here big customers like Central Bank or Rosatom, and Chinese company comes to them and says, "We are the best hackers in the world. Let us break into your infrastructure." This is how we feel abroad. So once again, in Russia, PT is the most powerful brand in cybersecurity. Well, probably just behind Kaspersky, because they work with the physicists, and when working with physicists. With the individuals, and when you work with individuals, your brand has to be even stronger. But in enterprise, we are definitely brand number one. So you can't open doors abroad like here. We can open doors with our powerful sales force in Russia.
запрос на цифровой суверенитет.
There is also demand for digital sovereignty. All these locations from friendly countries, they all saw what was happening in Russia, how vendors left the country, how not properly it was done. I even asked people from the international team to build me a spreadsheet, an international vendor name, how the vendor exited, how much time left, what happened to the product, stopped updating, no new products, whatever. Everyone is concerned about that. No one wants to find themselves potentially in a similar position. So to be able to control the technologies that you use for your own security is a major driver for them. The need for local expertise. Here our experts, reversers, analysts, hackers, our guys analyze the systems, but they are systems associated with the Russian landscape. We know how 1S is breached, but they are not using 1S, they are using other systems. So local expertise is crucial. We need to know which systems they use locally. We need to analyze them in terms of vulnerabilities. A new update is released, and analysis process should be launched at the same time. They're analyzing the tactics of the hackers. It should be embedded. The results of this analysis should be embedded into the product, and you need to have local expertise for that. There is demand, and we have the skill. The experience of Russia in the last 2.5 years of the cyber war and how we resisted is very much of interest to many countries, and they are listening to this experience with eyes wide open. And the same happened at the PhD festival. All the ideas that we discussed here today, effective cybersecurity, minimizing the number of people, minimizing the requirements, well, not minimizing, but minimizing the requirements to the expertise and skills, is also something that they can relate to. There is one challenge. Well, it's not a challenge, it's an issue. that can help us, definitely, that we will definitely use. They have a shortage of people there, of people and companies who know how to deploy products and technologies with high quality. There are many good salespeople, but they don't have enough people who know how to deploy. Hence this trend and demand for MSSP when the partner provides the service and assumes the responsibility. This is one of Positive's strengths here in Russia. The engineering team at Positive is, 200 people strong? Andrei will speak after me, and probably he will give you the number of the engineers that we have who manage pilots and deployments and everything. So there is much demand for that. Different culture code. For me, it's a different experience, and some cases were very funny. A delegation comes from one country in the Orient. They enter the meeting room and they turn around and they go outside. For them, it was a haram because they saw dirty teacups on the table. There was ultimate disrespect. Or on the same floor, two delegations met from two different countries who are conflicting at the moment with each other. So you have to think about that, how to diverge the flows of people. And now in practice, we get this through our own experience, the importance of the culture code sanctions. It's a challenge, but it's not a factor. It's not a block. The main takeaway that we make out of this is Denis came to me once and said, "Max, you know how to build sales machines. You did it in Russia. You achieved that. It's effective. Helena is now responsible for it. But it's like squeezing fabric. If it's wet, you will be able to squeeze it, but if it's dry, nothing will come out of it. So how do you make it wet? You do it with the history of your brand. The story of our international expansion depends on the expansion of the Positive Technologies brand to these locations. We realize that we invest into this, and this is what we do. Let me show you how we do it on the next slide, probably. Look. These are the principles on which we base, and just a little bit about our sales targets. What do we sell there? The products and services, right? And that's clear. That's what we sell there. Meta products, yes, of course, we can sell that. Projects like protecting data centers or building local certs, big projects, or strategic partnerships and investments with the foundations, investment foundations at the level of a country, with vendors and manufacturers of hardware. The same applies to white label and OEMs. So we would be willing to share our technologies and our products
другой бренд.
and make them appear under a different brand name. But it will be our choice, it will be our call. We will be making that decision, all right? This is what it says there. It means that many of these tools, you can sometimes sell many of these products only once in a location, so we can't select anyone as our partner. We can't agree to any proposal. We will not be happy to just any passerby. We need to be able to decide on strategic partnership in a region, and for us to take that decision, we need to understand the complete configuration at the top, not to make a mistake. One of my favorite examples, maybe you have heard already this from me, you probably heard about the bride problem. If you ever attended technical classes, you heard about this problem. So the problem is you've got n number of brides, and you have to select the best one, the best bride for yourself out of this n number. What's the algorithm of your actions so that the probability of the correct choice would be the highest? And there is a mathematical solution to this problem. You divide 1 by E.
Логарифма, да? Грубо говоря, треть невест.
So 1/3 of the brides, you have to test them and discard them, and then you select the best one of that number. That's it. That's the solution. What's wrong with this problem? This problem doesn't count for love.
Сами влюбиться и кого-то,
You have to fall in love,
да?
and then you select that person as your partner.
А с другой стороны,
And you need experience on the one hand, and on the other hand, the landscape should be transparent. If we enter Latin America yesterday, we have no clue what is happening in the market. So in order to identify the main stakeholders, we need some time.
ну и последний трек.
Right. And last but not least, this is a huge track. It's scary how huge it is. I don't want to create inflated expectations. So it's B2G. This is the agenda driven by the state, Yuri Maximov and Cyberus, and PT as a company. When we enter a country, we tell them, you know, PT is a company that can create your national cybersecurity industry. We can help you grow white hats. We can help you grow the blue team. I mean, the good guys, right? And we know how to do that. This is what we do in Russia to protect our interests, and we're happy to share this expertise with you.
И безопасных компаний.
Establishing secure industries, secure companies, and secure states is a mega track. And of course, that requires top-level partnerships. We follow the single brand principle. We will not rebrand. We will only be happy to work with those who are ready to work with us. PT is a Russian company. We are red, and you know we organize PT days. We did run into certain challenges. For instance, in Brazil, our guys demonstrated the PT logo in their presentation, and then they had to spend 10 minutes explaining that PT is not their political faction that supported the Brazilian president. So their logo is very similar to ours, and our guys said that we needed a new brand and a new name, and we said no. Use Posi or Positive, but we want to be. We want to maintain our brand because PT brand is not just about the local products. It's about our approach to the industry because these are the very same people. By changing the name and the logo, we will have to explain how come we have two brands but the very same team. Keeping investments safe to stay in the global market. You know, we plan to open 1 to 2 local offices in 2025, and the reason is quite simple: local development, local expertise, and we're trying to choose a country where we're gonna stay for a long time. However, we do understand that it will take significant investments. We don't want to be kicked out of the country and our business will no longer exist there. So we want to have some cumulative effect created by small steps. And sooner or later, our business will flourish there. So we will only work there where people are happy to see us. We are not going to use their chess field, but rather we will try to drive our messages home. They're so simple and obvious that most of the people share our philosophy. Let me briefly go over them again. The key message is that the cybersecurity industry, the global cybersecurity industry, is somewhat of a fake. People waste more money. The technologies are becoming more complicated and complex. More people are required. It's like in this joke, I drink more, but I feel worse. And then a pen test team comes and hacks the infrastructure. So that's why we're saying that the industry is a fake. Let's make it true. How do we do that? How do we measure cybersecurity? Try to be hacked. If your infrastructure is not hacked for 3 times in a row, then you can be certain that it's secure. Then use a bug bounty program. if you pay $1 million to hack our system and they can't, then it's worth 1 million. If we pay 10 million and they are unable to hack our system, then it's worth 10 million. Let's make the industry true. And these ideas are gaining steam abroad as well. And this, the third principle is my personal best. All flowers are wonderful. That's why I'm a strong believer in all these three tracks. We want to try all the possible opportunities. So this is the basic principle that I'm trying to drive to the PT sales force. Don't waste opportunities. Seize every single opportunity. Try everything. Local expertise development, local certification development. We already mentioned that there is a high demand both in Russia and abroad. And the underlying basis for everything is our philosophy, love and trust, because we cannot enter the global market similar to what the foreign vendors do. They act as if they were colonizers. We need to understand the needs, and we need to speak the same language. We're not there to sell our products and get the money. Cultural expansion is another mega important trend. And the main idea here is that we wanted to be loved and valued for the things that are valued and loved in Russia. And an example of such an expansion was recently demonstrated at the JSAC. Guys from the Positive Lab that I already advertised to in my short intro ran contests. They tried to hack ATM machines and stuff like that. And by the way, this is the largest cybersecurity exhibition in the Gulf Coast region. And in Kuwait, they won an award for being the most valuable company in this conference. So that's the literal translation of the award title. We were noticed. In addition to that, all of the company CEOs were brought there, and we told them, all of your customers are there, pre-sales are there, try to listen to their needs. We don't want to compete with the Russian solutions in Russia. We want to compete with the global leaders. And this photo shows how we did a reflection session, so it was not the last one. And by the way, a funny story at the very end, if I may. This is the soldering contest shown in the photo, and when we received official photos, the PT logo was bright and it was diluted, and we didn't even see the logo. I thought that they were scared of sanctions. They didn't want to show our logo. But then I received a letter after the exhibition was over, after we received the award in Kuwait, and the organizers summed up the outcomes of the conference, and they actually photoshopped our logo. They wanted to put it in the photo so that everyone could see that it was PT. So that's about the being valuable and winning trust. It's important for them to see that we are working alongside. We're just starting this journey, so I don't want to create inflated expectations. Our business plan is not as ambitious as the Russian plan, as the plan for Russia. We're not even add them up. All these commitments that we undertake in front of the investors, our main goal is not to achieve these figures, but rather to tap on the potential that we will be utilizing for years to come. That brings me to the end of my presentation. Thank you so much.